Hey everyone, Brenda Flanders with the Utah Sport Karate League here with another competitor's highlight. But before we bring on our special guests, let's go over the events that we have left for the 2024 schedule. Next up, we've got the Battleground Sparring. Remember, that is a pre-reg tournament only that's happening on August 23rd in Farmington. You have until August 21st to get registered for that. Those ones are great tournaments for those of you who love to spar. Come over, check it out. I'm sure you're going to love it. It's a great chance and a great opportunity to get a lot of sparring experience. Next on the schedule is the League World Finals happening August 30th and 31st in Las Vegas, Nevada. For more information on registration and the brochure, go ahead and jump on over to theleaguema.com and search under events, and you'll be able to find the brochure for that upcoming tournament. And then next, we've got Valor Showdown happening September 13th and 14th, happening over at the Kongo studio, as well as the USKL finals happening in October to close up our season. That's October 11th and 12th. If you have any questions about those events or those dates, go ahead and jump on over to utahsportkarateleague.com. You can see a list of all of those tournaments, the events. You can see the rules. We even have our new feature, the judges certification. We've kind of revamped things, and it makes it a lot more accessible to get your training done at a time that's convenient for you. So go ahead and jump on over to utahsportkarateleague.com for further information. Let's go ahead and bring out our competitor highlight. Here with me today, I have Courtney Wubker. She trains with Valor Academy of Martial Arts under my direction. She currently has a 4th degree black belt, and she competes as an adult in our black belt divisions. How are you doing, Courtney?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for joining me today and chatting.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. We talked about your rank. Everybody knows you as an amazing competitor, as well as a judge. You've come out tournament after tournament and shown the league support with judging, and then jumping into those forms division. It's been quite awesome to watch you develop. It's been quite awesome to see what you do. And then I really think that it's great to watch you on the sidelines and see all the support that you give to your fellow competitors. I think that's an important aspect to the sport and to this community.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're awesome. You're a great example, and I appreciate that. So let's talk about you a little bit. Can you tell our viewers how many years you have been training?
I have been training for 13 years this year, since 2011.
Awesome. And what kind of goals do you have moving forward with your training?
I hope to earn another level in hyper black belt, and I hope to keep getting degrees and learning new forms and trying to branch out a little bit and learning new styles. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're very determined. I know that personally, obviously, I work with you. You come from my school. I see how hard you work. I see your training schedule, and your determination, your perseverance, and your dedication to your training and to this sport. You're one of those students of mine and competitors of ours that you can see that it's more of a kind of a way of life, and not necessarily just a sport or something that you do, a few days a week. It's a way of life.
absolutely.
Awesome. So can you tell us, can you let our viewers know a little bit about your training and what your training schedule looks like?
I'm in the dojo pretty much every day of the week. I train at least 4 days a week and try to, practice as much as I can at home. I have private lessons once a week as well. And yeah, pretty much live for martial arts. I'm doing it every day.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're certainly committed. Always here at the dojo training yourself. And then I also want to mention that you're one of our lead instructors, and you do add a lot of value to the mat. You work a lot with you oversee actually our 3 to 4 year old group entirely, and you've done a tremendous job with them, raising up that next generation of martial artists. And then you also work with our intermediate advanced junior samurai and youth dope program. And so the inspiration that you bring, I think is incredible. Not just as a martial artist, but as an individual. I gotta say, I'm kind of biased, but I think you're pretty great.
I appreciate it. That means a lot.
So how many years have you been competing?
Ever since I started martial arts, I don't really remember a time where I wasn't competing, honestly. I just remember always being at tournaments, and just whenever we started going and you started, going to tournaments, I just remember going along. And so I want to say pretty much all of my training.
Pretty great memories. Can you remember your first tournament?
My first tournament?
Yes.
Hmm. I don't know.
If I'm not wrong, it would be 2012, 2013 uh Utah State Championships that Darren and Becky Cox run in November.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
There's been so many, they all kind of
There's,
start
yeah, I know.
blending after a while, right?
Uh-huh.
So through all those many years of competing and all the different ways that you inspire other individuals, other athletes, can you share with us a challenge that you've had along the way?
My biggest challenge through competing in martial arts has been when I tore my ACL. That was a pretty major event that happened to me. And that was right in the middle of competition season. And just kind of, I was ready to fully compete once I got out of high school. And then I just hurt my knee. And so that was a challenge that I had to get through and had to come back from recovery. But it took about a year to fully come back.
Yeah, I remember that was devastating. It was upsetting, especially the timing of it all. Um, right in the middle of the season. It just, as you are now, back then you were still, I feel like a top competitor, definitely someone to watch. And then we had that upset,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I think you handled it very well. I think you handled it with grace. I think you handled it with courage. Like you said, it took about a year, but the second that you could get up, you came back on the floor, worked what you could work, and just kind of built from there. And to me, I think that story is inspiring. You didn't just give up. You've pushed on.
Mhm.
You make it to class. You keep pushing and you keep competing. I know that it's changed the divisions that you compete in, but definitely those kata divisions, those weapons divisions that you still compete in, it's awesome to watch you. I know you've got some fans out there that love to see all the different common tricks that you do. You're continuously working on them, and I just think that it's great. Again, I might be biased, but I just find you very inspiring.
Thank you.
So with all the upsets and that, I know you came back strong, but what motivates you? What motivated you to come back strong? What motivates you to continue to compete?
There are several reasons why I compete. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I have fun doing it, and I've always liked the idea of learning something new or developing new tricks or whatever it is with forms or whatever. But I think what really motivates me is seeing all my teammates and competitors out there competing and being able to watch them, and I'm inspired by them, and so it just makes me want to work just as hard and get back up and to do it with them and do it beside them.
That's awesome. I love that. That's awesome. So how would you say that martial arts and competing has affected your everyday life?
How hasn't it affected my everyday life is a real question. It's I can't even imagine my life without martial arts and competition, but it's given me a lot of confidence in myself and my abilities. I've learned dedication and discipline. I've been able to learn resilience and perseverance. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned and that it's helped me in is mindset and being able to have a positive attitude and learning how to put intention into everything and visualizing what I want my life to be and what I want out of everything that I do.
I love that. Mindset is so important, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So let's move on a little bit to some of the accomplishments that you've had. Recently, I know you've been on Team USA through the WKU. Was able to go up and compete in Canada. You did a phenomenal job up there. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those notable accomplishments and maybe some notable wins?
Yeah, so I did compete in my musical form, non-musical, and I did a Kempo form for the first time. And I got a bronze medal in that at the WKU finals, which was pretty exciting, something new. I've earned state titles throughout my years of competing. Last year, I got awarded the All Star Award at the league finals, and then just recently got Player of the Year for the Utah Conference for the league, which was also super exciting to learn.
That's awesome. Congratulations on all your success and for that latest award of being the player of the year for the league, where you'll be recognized on stage here coming up in August. I think that's phenomenal. Um, Definitely well deserved.
Thank you. Was
Can you can you share some of your experience that you had in your most recent competition? That would be the Kongo Karate Tournament. Um, can you tell us a little bit about the divisions that you competed in and some of the outcomes?
Yeah, I competed in my musical weapons and non-musical weapons, and we also did our demo team performance and got third in the demo team and first place in both my musical and non-musical.
That's
So
awesome.
it
That's
was
awesome.
a lot of fun.
Like I said earlier, I know you've got some fans that are in the stand that love
Mhm.
to see those difficult, complex techniques that you do, the way that you manipulate your commas. I know that you're working on a new combo. I won't spoil anything. I know that you're working on something that's I think is pretty incredible. We should be seeing that roll out here pretty soon. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna work on that to get it in.
that's awesome. That is awesome. So, what would you say is your favorite division to compete in?
Definitely musical weapons. I've just since that injury, I mean, I've always loved that division, but I've been able to really focus on that one, and that has been my favorite so far. Like, and I think it'll continue to be my favorite.
That's awesome. You do a great job. Um, Again, biased. I love the commas and I love to
Mhm,
see what you do. That's my favorite weapon by far. And
mhm.
just as an exciting division. You got some great competitors that are in that division as well. So I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, so with all these tournaments that are coming up, the tournaments that are behind us, how do you prep for a tournament? How do you get yourself ready?
I try to make it to my training sessions as much as I can, doing my private lessons once a week, get my practice in. But again, like we talked about, how mindset is so powerful and important. I try my best to do mindfulness exercises. I would say, especially that week of, like, I'll do meditation or I'll visualize and I'll listen to or watch motivational videos to get my mindset prepped a little bit more so that I can be ready for that fully.
What the mind can see, the body can achieve, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So along the way, who would you say is someone that has inspired you to work hard, someone that's inspired you to improve your skills? I know you've mentioned, your fellow competitors are a source of inspiration. Um, if if you'd like to take a moment to elaborate a little bit, is there anybody out there that really just keeps that fire under you?
There's a couple people. First, you, of course, inspiring me to always work my hardest, and you taught me everything that I know. So you, of course, your daughter, Sensei Cadence Porter, has been a pretty big inspiration recently. She's really inspired me to push myself and to work hard because she's recently got really into sparring, and it's exciting to see her do everything she can to make it to her training sessions and prioritize that. So recently she's been a really big inspiration. America Cox has been a great inspiration. It's always cool to see her developing new skills, and just she's a really kind person, and she's always super humble and a big supporter. So I would say those three are my top.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are some of the competition goals you have for 2024?
I hope to get a world title at the upcoming league finals in August. That's my next goal for this year, as well as getting some titles at the USKL finals.
Nice. Complete that medal award series, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Can you share with us some of your favorite competitors that you enjoy watching?
Well, there's so many. Drew Beatty, whenever I would see her at a tournament, she was always super fun to watch and see. I know it's been a minute since we've seen her at a tournament, but she was always a favorite. Again, America Cox has been a favorite one to watch and compete with, and I've competed with her for a little bit and a couple years. Um, Sensei Cameron Garrido has been a fun one to watch, and obviously I train beside him. But watching, I would say those three are my favorite competitors to watch.
Some super strong individuals, that's
Mm,
for sure.
yeah,
Could you imagine a power team of the,
right.
you know, that would be pretty amazing. Team Kata or something, or
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be awesome. What competitor out there gives you the biggest challenge? And you can speak past or present. I know that sparring isn't in your list of divisions as of now. With the knee injury, we haven't taken that division on back on yet. But can you share with us a competitor that has given you a big challenge? Somebody who helps push you harder because you know that they're going to bring it when they get to the mat.
yeah. When I was younger and first competing, Michaela from Elite she was like my main competitor, and especially in sparring, and that really pushed me because I knew, yeah, she would bring it every single time, and really got me out of my comfort zone and just a total new experience. So she was one. And then I think currently, funny enough, Cameron Garrido, with us training beside each other and always developing, new tricks and upgrading our forms, that whenever I get the chance to compete against him, I would say he pushes me to keep developing those tricks and get those down.
Two powerhouses.
Hmm.
That's awesome that you brought back Michaela. That's a blast from the past. What
Oh
a
yeah,
phenomenal competitor. What a phenomenal fighter she was.
yeah,
Kick
she was.
you, kick you from across the ring, right? She just had some great leg control, and she was a force.
Oh yeah,
That
she was incredible.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So what would you say is I want to get into some of your favorites now. Give our viewers a little bit more insight on you. What would you say is your favorite kick or your favorite technique to do?
I've always loved the butterfly kick. That was always a fun one to learn. I've always liked Korean open knife hands, Okinawa open knife hands. That always was a lot of fun to learn. But yeah, I would say butterfly in those open knife hands. So,
Strong basics, right?
right. Hmm.
And I'm sure this one's not going to be a surprise to anybody, but what is your favorite weapon?
The commas.
Surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite tournament that you've been to so far?
I a little biased on this one. Valor Showdown. That's always been my favorite. I think that also because that gave me more of an opportunity to also judge and see a little bit more of what goes behind the tournament. So Valor Showdown has been my favorite.
It's a pretty great tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, ma'am.
in case you didn't catch it earlier, happening this September 13th and 14th.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a pretty awesome tournament, near and dear to our hearts, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we don't see you at karate, what would we catch you doing outside?
Mostly I'm working on school. I'm getting super close to graduating with my bachelor's in professional sales. And that's what's taking up most of my time right now, currently. So,
That's awesome. I think that it says a lot about somebody that can be committed in multiple areas of their life, and I think that's awesome. That's great.
thank you.
Could you give us a fun fact about you? Something that people may not know.
Fun fact about me. Let's see. I did cheer in high school. That was something completely different from martial arts. And I don't think a lot of people outside of my family and friends really know that. But that, cheer and tumbling was part of my life for a little bit there.
That is fun. And they kind of help each other out with the skills that you learn, right?
Absolutely.
You can kind of cross train and
Yeah, my coach had several times mentioned how martial arts has improved and helped me in cheer and learning routines and work ethic and everything. Like she mentioned it several times to me and my parents.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I think martial arts is for everyone. All right. We're coming to the end of our interview. It's been super awesome to chat with you. But before we go, is there some advice that you'd like to give to fellow competitors, fellow athletes out there?
Again, the mind is super super powerful. So I would say developing a strong mindset and having gratitude for the things that you have in your life and where you're at currently. I think that's going to be the most important thing for all athletes in any sport to do if they want to be more successful.
That's powerful advice. I love that. I love that. You heard it here, guys. Make sure that you take that into consideration and really think about your mindset. I love that. That's great advice. Great advice. Is there anybody out there that you'd like to give a special thanks to for helping you achieve these martial arts goals and these other goals that you've reached thus far in your life?
My parents are a big role model to me and they deserve all the thanks in the world. They've supported me and they, put me in martial arts and they help me in everything that I do. My grandparents as well. They are great examples. They're hard workers and they're always showing up for me. So I want to thank my grandparents and my parents.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. It's always great to have that strong support system and your own personal cheerleaders, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, that concludes our competitor highlight interview with Courtney Wubker. I really appreciate you coming on and taking some time out of your busy day and giving us a little bit of insight on you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, that has been another competitor highlight from the Utah Sport Karate League. Before we go, remember to jump on over to the utahsportkarateleague.com. Check out the upcoming events that we have listed. You can check out the rules. You can check out divisions. If you have any questions, please know you can reach out to me anytime. We want to make sure that you have the best experience possible with the Utah Sport Karate League. Thank you again so much, Courtney, and I hope everybody out there has a great afternoon.